Hey there, so I'm really excited for today's video. I mentioned that I found a dresser for my bathroom, and today I'm going to do like the big reveal. So let me just tell you about it real quick. I have been looking probably since like October on Craigslist, and I have a really small space to fit it in, so finding one with those dimensions was really hard. I finally found it. It was in New Jersey. I had to drive like an hour and a half away, which for a piece you've been looking for I really don't think is that bad. And I paid $50 for it. It did need some work. It's solid oak, and it's more of like an antique type dresser, meaning like it doesn't have normal, like the drawer slides or anything. It's all wood. So that's easy enough. You just wax them and they're okay. But it had a few gouges on the doors and it was missing the pulls. So I've spent some time sanding it, repairing it, and finally painting it. And it's ready to show you guys. So you'll notice this is how it looked before I started anything with it. It's got some peeling veneer on the sides. It's missing the drawer pulls. It just needs some general repair. There's a few gouges in the drawer fronts. And the top is heavily coated in wax, so I'll have to get that off so that the paint will have something to grip to. So this is the before. Alright, so here we have the dresser, and I've got it ready for the paint. All I did was sand it, and I patched some of the drawer holes, and there was a few small gouges on the front, and I just patched those with a wood filler. I used my palm sander on it. I started with 50 grit to just get it stripped down quick, and then I went back with 120 to smooth it some. I didn't smooth it too much because I'm going to try using milk paint, and I know that that has to have something to grip to, otherwise it will chip off if there's much of a finish on the furniture. And then here on the sides where the veneer was peeling at the bottom, I just scraped it all off because that's going to be pushed up against the wall anyways. And once it's painted, it's all going to look the same. And the casters are off. I've reordered some of them from a furniture hardware site just to update it a little bit. And I will show you guys all the pieces that I ordered to go with it when they get in. But that's the piece ready to be painted. Alright, and now that I've got the dresser all ready to be painted, I had to pick up some new hardware and some paint for it. So I'd mentioned I'm going to use milk paint, and this is what I picked up. They're from Miss Mustard Seeds, and the color is Ironstone, which is like the white paint of her line. And this is a sample pack, which I found on Etsy. And let's see, I got it from Carver Junk Company. And the reason I picked them is because they sold these sample packets for $6 a piece, but they had free shipping, and I couldn't find any of the other companies that did. So for $12, I got these 2 sample packs to try it out and see how I like it. And then it needed some hardware. It had casters on it originally, and I pulled them out. This was the only one that was actually still intact. You can see the wood wheel has been worn down, and the rest of the wooden wheels were broken off. So I used a site that I've seen a lot of other people purchase from. It's called Lawless Hardware. And I found some casters on there to replace it, and they're just wooden wheels. I'm going to touch up this brass part with some oil rub bronze spray paint just to make it look a little bit more authentic, like vintage looking. So I picked up 4 of these, and these were only $1.63 a piece at Lawless Hardware. And then while I was placing an order, I picked up a few of these finger pulls. Actually, I picked up more than a few. I picked up 28 of them, actually. These finger pulls that are like a library catalog style. And these were 54 cents a piece. And I'm working on a project in my living room, which I will show in another video, and another little cabinet that I showed in my last free haul. So I picked up those, and then I picked up the screws that are the same color that match them. And then I had to pick up some drawer pulls for this dresser because it didn't come with any at all. And because it's a bow front dresser, I kind of thought that these would look neat on it. I usually see them with like these oval bail pulls. And I think bail pull just means that it's got like this movable handle on it. But these are called an antique English finish, and it's more kind of like a brass. I'm also going to make these oil rub bronze. And the reason I didn't just buy oil rub bronze ones is because the oil rub bronze versions were $6 and up, and I found these for 99 cents. And they're from a site called knobdeals.com. You can see right there, Knob Deals. And they are 99 cents a piece. The shipping was a little bit high, but it was still way cheaper than getting 6 of these poles from somewhere else at $6 a piece. And then, because I had some spare time, I made up these little templates. I just laid that pole out on a sheet of paper and traced around it. And then I kind of rocked it. I'll show you like this. And it left an indent so I could trace where the holes are going to be. And I made up 6 of these total, so I can tape one on each of the drawers and see how it's going to look before I go and drill the holes. And the next time I show you the dresser, hopefully it will be completed and in my bathroom. And here it is, all done. So I showed you that I started out with the Miss Mustard Seed milk paint, and I had no complaints with that. It worked really nice. It's just that I ran out of product because I only bought the sample sizes. So I ended up just going with a chalk paint. And that's the chalk paint I used. You can just pick it up at Walmart in the craft section. The color is called Plaster. It's like a slightly off-white. And then this is the wax that I used, and this is in the actual like spray paint aisle. And it's a white wax. Sometimes the clear waxes leave like a yellowish tint, so I didn't want to take the chance of that. So I went with the white wax. So I did 2 coats of the chalk paint, and I did thin it down a little bit with water. That way it would go on a little bit smoother and more like a stain. Then once I was done with that, I just sanded it. And you can see like it brought out some distressing and like natural type stuff. It also got rid of some of the brush strokes that were there. And then after that was all done, I applied the wax, and I just applied it with a soft washcloth. And you don't need to put on too much, you just put a little bit. You let it sit overnight, and then you buff it the next morning, and it gives it kind of like a satin finish. And then these are the poles that I ended up buying and spray painting oil rub bronze. And then I just threw this little tray on it here. This is one of those trays that I picked up in as a basket in Walmart and then turned into a tray, and I showed in one of my earlier videos. And then that green bottle with the thistles. I've got a couple of books underneath of my jewelry tray, and I just threw a horseshoe in there that I found yard selling last year because I liked it. So that is how the dresser turned out. And I'm actually really pleased with how it turned out. I think it looks a little bit better than the Helmers that were there. It's kind of like a more like permanent furniture type piece. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope it gave maybe some ideas for you guys in your house. Thanks for watching.